St. Anselm's Children's Hospital stood at the edge of town, surrounded by woods and blanketed in mist almost every morning. Its oldest wing, Ward 6B, was rarely used anymore, having once served children with terminal illnesses before the main hospital expanded. Emily Watson, 17, signed up as a hospital volunteer that summer. Bright, optimistic, and a bit nervous, she was assigned to Ward 6B. It seemed quiet, almost too quiet. The nurse who gave her the tour said, "Don't worry, only a few long-term patients remain. It's the perfect place to start." Then she hesitated, glanced at a locked door at the end of the hallway, and added softly, "Just don't go near room 13. No explanation, just a glance. A nervous shift in the voice. Emily didn't press. Room 13 sat at the far end of the dimly lit corridor. Its door was different, heavier, older. It had a metal chain across the handle and a paper sign, yellowed and curled at the edges, that read, "Under maintenance, do not enter." But that wasn't what gave Emily chills. It was the faint marks on the door, scratches in the wood, crayon scribbles, faded reds and blues, like a child had drawn on it decades ago, and someone had tried to erase them. Sometimes when passing, Emily swore she could hear something, not voices exactly, more like breath or soft whispering. She pressed her ear to the door one evening and distinctly heard it. "I want to play." Emily's favorite patient was Lucy, a 9-year-old girl undergoing long-term treatment. Lucy rarely smiled, but she liked coloring. Emily brought her new crayons and sat with her after reading storybooks. One day, Emily noticed a drawing taped to the hallway wall. It hadn't been there before. It showed a child holding a balloon, standing next to a faceless figure. The lines were shaky, drawn with red and black crayon. At the bottom, a name, Thomas. Emily asked Lucy, "Did you draw that?" Lucy looked up, serious. "Number Thomas did. He leaves me pictures sometimes." Emily laughed nervously, thinking it was imagination. But Lucy added, "He doesn't like being forgotten." That night, as Emily was leaving the ward after her shift, she heard it, a soft melody drifting through the hallway, a lullaby. It was distant, like it was playing from an old toy somewhere deep in the walls. She followed the sound, her footsteps echoing on the linoleum floor, until she stood before the room 13. The song got louder. She stood frozen, her hand brushing against the doorknob, even though it was chained. Just then, the overhead light above her buzzed and flickered. Then the lullaby stopped abruptly. A child's voice, small, close, whispered just behind her left ear, "Don't go." Emily ran. One stormy night, Emily came in early to surprise Lucy with a new sketchbook. But Lucy was gone. Her bed was empty, the sheets neatly folded, 4 unplugged. A nurse told Emily, "She was discharged this morning. Her parents picked her up." But Lucy had no living parents, and her teddy bear, favorite blanket, and drawings were still on the bed. On the pillow was a new picture, a crayon sketch of the same balloon boy, now holding hands with a girl. The girl had Lucy's pigtails and pink pajamas. Determined to find answers, Emily searched the storage room late at night. Behind a stack of linens, she found an old leather-bound journal. The cover was cracked, and inside were dated entries from 20 years ago. The author, Nurse Claire Hanley. "Something's wrong in room 13. After Thomas died, I kept hearing laughter in the night. We all did. Toys moved, lights flickered. We thought it was grief. We thought it would pass." The last few pages were frantic. Children are disappearing. Lucy, Kyle, Marianne. all gone without a trace. Thomas says he's lonely. He wants friends. The more he takes, the more he needs. That night, Emily returned to Ward 6B and left a small toy truck in front of room 13. She waited. At 12:31 a.m., she heard the toy begin to roll by itself. Then, knock, knock, knock from inside the room. Then giggling. The lights went out. The hallway filled with the soft sound of footsteps running. Knock, 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 all around her. It was like playing tag with invisible children. A whisper floated through the darkness. Let's play hide and seek. When the lights returned, Emily found a new drawing taped to the door. It was of a girl with long brown hair and green eyes. Her eyes. Emily confronted the head nurse, who finally confessed. Thomas had been a patient in room 13. He had leukemia and no family. He died during a snowstorm when the power went out, and no one found him for hours. After that, strange things began to happen. Kids started leaving unexpectedly, always at night, always with no goodbye. The hospital sealed room 13. Some say his spirit remained, the nurse said, not out of anger, out of loneliness. But loneliness becomes something else when it's left too long. Emily returned one last time. She brought Lucy's bear, Thomas's journal, and all the drawings. She stood before room 13 and whispered, I know you're there. You miss them, but they can't stay with you, Thomas. The door creaked open. No chains, no locks. Inside, the room was dim, quiet, cold. A balloon floated gently in the air. On the floor were all the toys of the children who had gone missing, lined up like a tea party. She placed the bear gently on the bed and said, goodbye. After that night, no more whispers, no more drawings. The ward became still, empty, but no longer haunted. Room 13 remained locked, but the door seemed lighter somehow, the air warmer, as though something had been let go. Weeks later, a new child was found abandoned in the ER. The girl didn't speak for days until a nurse gave her a bear. She smiled and whispered, Lucy. No one knew where she'd been, but she had a drawing in her pocket, a boy with a red balloon waving goodbye.